Hey guys, it's Paleo and here's an in-depth guide on how to play Blitz. Before we begin, thanks to Leon for the demo recordings. His channel is in the description if you want to check him out. If you're here to see how to counter Blitz, skip to the timestamp on the screen, and let's get right into it. First and utmost, your loadout. For the P12, I'd recommend you bring muzzle brake if you have a hard time with the recoil. Most other scenarios, suppressor. Pretty simple. The laser is really nice to have. It really quickens that ADS speed, which is really important when you're playing Blitz. As for the gadgets, you have the option between the smoke grenade or the breach charge. 75% of the time I'd bring smoke grenades because they can be used when diffusing or blocking off long angles. In that rare scenario where you have a soft hatch or a soft wall that you want to really go through, the breach charges definitely aren't a bad option. It's just that, especially if you're in a squad, I'd highly recommend just bringing smokes and asking your teammates to bring breach charges or shotguns so they can make the rotate for you, because smoke grenades are pretty useful to have when you're playing Blitz in most scenarios compared to the breach charges. Your shield, pretty simple. 4 flashes. Unlike Monty's shield, it does not cover your entire frame, so you're gonna have to be a bit more careful and always look forwards when you're fighting a defender. But yeah, that's about it for the loadout. So as for the shield is equipped with 4 flashes, and each of them have a 7-meter radius total. However, you should try to flash enemies within 3 or 4 meters for the flash to completely blind their screen, and for maximum consistency. I've tried to flash enemies from longer distance, and it's very inconsistent to the point where every other time I do it, they're either completely flashed, they're not flashed, or they're like a little bit flashed. Either way, best bet is to try and flash as close as you can get to the enemy as possible. Blitz is best in 1v1 situations as he can easily kill isolated enemies. This makes him great at roam clearing. Blitz is also dependent on teamwork. With proper communication, it's easy for him to flush out rooms and gain map control as your squad picks off defenders. On the other hand, he loses his advantage when he's being shot by 2 defenders at once, especially if they're on different angles. This is when your smokes become handy as you can cut off one of the angles, leaving the other defender an easy pick. So with Blitz's shield, one of the biggest problems is that when you're ADSing, the animation is actually a lot quicker for the defenders than it is for you. So as you can see, it takes a bit for the shield to go fully down, but on the defender's screen, the shield automatically goes down, and it's the pistol that takes time to ADS. So I'd highly recommend not ADSing unless you know that it's a safe situation where you can win. Another problem is that Blitz's shield actually doesn't cover his shoulders, so a good defender can easily shoot your weak spots right there. A good counter is by moving in a zigzag pattern so that they can't pinpoint those shoulder weak spots. Quick tip, if Blitz's shield is shot enough times, it's going to cause an effect where he's going to be unable to run for a certain period of time. Another problem with Blitz is that when you melee him or he gets L-mined, his shield is actually going to sway to the left. You can counteract this by actually swinging your camera to the right. So in this example, I'm fighting this Cav. She appears, she melees me first, I swing my camera to the right, just like that. And that's hopefully going to stop melees and bullets from hitting you. So when you melee, it does not down a defender on the first shot like it used to, but it does take away about half of their HP and knocks them back. This makes them unable to react for a second, which is when you should melee again or shoot them, which will kill any defender unless they have rook armor. If they do have rook armor, it will require 3 total melees to fully eliminate. So first up is Warden. Warden can actually see through the Blitz flash, so the best thing to do in this scenario would actually just be don't ADS and go for the melee kill once you push him. Third one would be Frost. Frost mats, when placed correctly, is incredibly hard for a Blitz to see, so proceed with caution. So similar to Frost mats, Kapkan traps are also really hard to see when you're a Blitz. You can only really see them when you're crouched and looking both ways of the door. The bottom half of the shield actually covers the part where Kapkans are usually placed, so just crouch and look. Another operator would be Smoke. His canisters deal a large amount of damage, and it leaves the Blitz player with two choices: either run towards the smoke player or run away from the smoke player. Both of them are pretty risky. I guess you just have to choose what's right in the situation. So, similar to the Frost and Kapkan, Legion Mines are also very effective against Blitz, as it forces him to take off the shield to remove them, or he has to fight while his health ticks down. Best bet is to try to get in a safe position and remove it. So, similar to Smoke, Goyo's Vulcans also force the Blitz player to run towards or away from the fire. Your best bet is to look at the situation and decide whether you should run towards or away from the Goyo. So lastly, one of the biggest problems when you're in a Blitz is going to be operators with Nitro Cells. So that's going to be Kapkan, Mozzie, Valkyrie, Mute, Mira, Bandit, Cade, Warden, Pulse, and Sentry at the moment. These Nitro Cells are going to deal a lot of damage to you. Your best bet when there's a Nitro Cell nearby is to look at it and back away. The shield, and if it's in front of the Nitro Cell, it's actually going to block a lot of the explosion damage. So if you don't have any of the above, the best thing to do is to engage him at long angles and fall back to teammates. For example, you could run back into sight while keeping an eye on him so he doesn't shoot your back, and you can lure him into a tight angle where you can easily shoot his side. His biggest advantages are 1v1s and close quarter combat. So if he's chasing you, you can fire at a shield to slow him down and try to get back to sight where your teammates can help. If you have impact grenades, those are also very effective against him, as it also makes his shield sway to the left, and you could also try to melee him before he melees you. This is very risky, but it does work. In the situation that the Blitz has flashed you, one thing you can do is keep your scope where you last saw Blitz's head, and just start pre-firing it, because sometimes they'll flash and immediately ADS, in which case if you pre-fire, it's gonna immediately blow their head off. And that's about it. Thanks for watching.